Members of the House of Representatives spoke about that lately, and they eventually referred it to a certain committee to report back to them on. But that's what we're discussing today on the program. But we'll take you through this report, and thereafter we'll take it from there.
If urgent steps are not taken to strengthen the internal democratic process of all political parties, the selection of candidates for elective offices will continue to be chaotic.
I think some of our actions in this country are so shameless that sometimes you wonder if you actually belong to this country or you want to belong to this country. If, for example, what is happening in Bayelsa today, Bayelsa State, can be said it is we are practicing true democracy. It is not. That is, even for the mere fact that that place is the state of the president.
Well, yes, you heard, but eventually the House of Representatives referred it to their Committee on Intra-Party and Inter-Party Relations to investigate that matter and get back to them on. Well, Dr. Kabiru Mato joins us now. He's a former head Political Science Department, University of Abuja. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's interesting. There are times we look at some matters and we wonder what political scientists, if it has changed their definition of politics, as it were. But then, looking at this particular matter, which the members of the House of Representatives raised, how interesting is it for you?
Well, it has always been interesting, especially since the return to civil rule in 1999. That has been the major crisis I think the Nigerian political party system has faced. Of course, evidently, it's clear all over the globe where this type of democracy is practiced that the foundation that is laid in order to have an enduring democratic polity is really anchored on the viability of the political party as an institution. And I think from 1999 to date, Nigeria has really faced a lot of problems as far as, the nature and character of political parties, especially as it relates to the processes of selection of candidates at the various levels of representation is concerned. And it is alarming more to the fact that it's impossible for any nation to have a viable democracy through credible, free, fair electoral processes if at the level of the political party internal democracy is not ensured. So while we keep shouting it's INEC, it's this, it is that are responsible for a failure to do the right election, in my humble view, the most disturbing problem stems from the inability of the political party leadership and especially people in government that normally emerge from these political parties to willingly subordinate themselves to the wishes and aspirations of their party members. And that's one cardinal principle of Western liberal democracy, which seems to be very absent in most of the political parties we have in Nigeria today.
I've heard people describe it as escapist, while others disagree when they describe the entire process as teething. Because in 1999 today, some still say our democracy is nascent, and so that's part of the problem.
Well, you see, the issue is you keep deceiving yourself when you are 40, when you are 50, and keep feeling that you're still a young man or a young lady growing up, trying to learn in the process. If we say at 12, 13 years that our nation's democracy, that's not the first time, and Nigerians have always been yearning for democratic rule even when the military held sway. So it's not an issue of whether being nascent or not. It is a deliberate desire of the Nigerian political elite to circuit the majority of the citizenry in the political battle. That's why party members are not. I don't think if there is any political party in this country today that has what you call a party register, a register of membership. The last time I heard of it was when PDP was deregistering its members, attempting to register some, towards the end of the Obasanjo administration. So, but the issue is, if we want to get it right, we have to get it right from the foundation stage, and the foundation stage is that of political party. And I keep saying one of the major problems that we have in Nigeria is that, well, as far as political party is concerned, is that the incessant intervention of military into the body politic of the nation has resulted in eroding what is referred to as political party solidarity. Political party solidarity is a situation where, well, we have other countries like Pakistan, like Ghana, that have also faced similar antecedents, with Nigeria. But each time the military struck in Pakistan and they were handing over power to civilians, the same old crops of political parties are, revived, and they kept moving. So a tradition has firmly being established. In our own case,
is that what we have here?
No, well, in our own case, in fact, it's been part of the military doctrine to say each time we were moving to civilian dispensation that all parties, one of the criteria of recognizing or registration of political parties, that any political party that desired to be recognized must not have any semblances, with the political parties of the past. That's what happened after the 1966 coup, when we were going back in 1978-79. The military government said, look, you cannot bring NPC, you cannot bring AG, you cannot bring, anything similar to that, even though the political parties that eventually emerged had some similarities, but a lot of efforts were made by the politicians to distance their new political groups with the old political groups.
Let me come in here. One worry in the minds of most Nigerians is that, the ordinary party member, what kind of liberty or freedom does he have in his own political party, let alone, because what they see, those who you call heavyweights in the party, they're not even given a say in the party, let alone the ordinary party member. So the question is, how successful are political parties in giving ordinary members a say when we talk about internal democracy?
That's the issue. That's the crux of the matter. The real problem here has to do with the fact that I keep saying, when I hear political parties saying we're the largest in Nigeria, we're the biggest in Africa, it's funny, because I'm sure some of these political parties do not even have a document that is called a register of members. That is one. Secondly, the issue of the individual rights of a party man or a party woman, which is also crucial in the entrenchment of the virtues of democracy within the political party itself, as the first stone that will be laid in order to ensure a national democratic outlook is virtually absent. And as you rightly observed, even big men in the party, lack the political capacity to be able to exercise what their fundamental human rights as members of that political party is. Especially if they have the governors, if they have president, emerging from their party. So the ordinary members of political parties, as far as the current dispensation in this country is concerned, are absolutely bereft, they are absolutely denied of all the basic rights that ordinary party members should have.
Yeah, but upon what will those rights be predicated when they do not really have a financial stake? How many of them contribute to those parties on a regular basis?
Well, the story of the Nigerian political parties resembles closely the story of the general Nigerian society, because you don't pay tax, so it's very difficult for you, or you don't give a damn about whatever. You are only worried that there is no power, there is no electricity, there is no good roads, there is no...
No, but in that case, some pay, and some others don't.
Who pays?
We pay.
Yeah, we pay tax because it's removed at source. It's removed at source. If the majority of the citizens, if it is what you hear in Europe and the United States of America, people talking about taxpayers' money, we would have held our leadership accountable, are responsible for a lot of actions. But at the end of every month, 36 commissioners of finance and the accountant generals with the Minister of State of Finance, accountant general of the Federation, will congregate in one city or the other. And what they do there is to share the national cake. So the governor will rather sit down in his state capital and wait for his commissioner of finance to return with his share of that particular month. So he does not need to think deeply in appointing capable people, even within his own, enclave, that will be able to help him generate, some extra revenue to help, So it's the same thing with the political party formation. The more you have states or local government, the more your party is viable. That's why PDP will pride itself as the largest party, because it has controlled federal authorities for 12 years. states, I mean, other parties like AC, like AMPP, and even Labour Party that has one state, ABGA, with 2 states, will boast of having more resources and will not rely on the party membership. In 1979 to 1983, for instance, what happened? We also have political parties like the People's Redemption Party were funded by members' contribution, 20 kobo, 50 kobo, very meaningful resources. This does not happen anymore, and that is why pundits will not be wrong if they continue to agitate and say all the political parties we have today in this country are merely a caricature of what political parties should be.